Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. The headlines. Local block manufacturers complain of unfair competition from foreigners. KAMBWILI in beefed up security as court finds him with a case to answer for insulting President Lungu. Join me with the details after this commercial. Are you a qualified, impartial and professional journalist, news editor, video editor or newscaster? Camnet TV is looking for more professionals in the media industry. For more details, call 0962 965883 or send your details to our email info@camnettvafrica.com. Camnet TV, not just another channel. 2021 has been described as a highly politically charged year. This is because every 5 years the country goes to the polls, and that 5 years elapses with only a few months remaining down to the ballot. The battlefield to appear on the ballot is becoming fertile. A lot of people are expressing interest of appearing on the ballot.
In all this, our interest is to put the duty bearers, the leaders, and those aspiring to task by asking the relevant questions.
If you're an aspiring candidate, be it councillor, mayor or member of parliament, get in touch with us to get yourself on the verdict.
We go beyond speculation in dealing with policy and governance issues. The right questions are asked to help you make a verdict.
For more details, you can call us on 0962 965883, 0979 753010, or email us info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Join us on Camnet TV
every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday at 17:45 hours
on a new program dubbed The Verdict.
Remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel.
As the clock ticks, the 12th of August 2021 general election day draws closer. Therefore, the Electoral Commission of Zambia is conducting the electronic inspection of the provisional register of voters from the 7th of February to the 7th of May 2021.
Verify the correctness of your details if you registered in the 2020 voter registration exercise. Just dial *214# on Airtel, MTN and Zamtel. It is instant and free of charge. You can also verify by logging on to the Electoral Commission of Zambia website, www.eczovr.org. If your details are correct after checking using *214# or www.eczovr.org, you do not need to visit the physical inspection center. Do it now. It is your right. It is your vote. This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ.
And now the media news in detail. Some block-making entrepreneurs in Lusaka have complained of unfair competition from foreign block-making companies that have dominated the Zambian market. In an interview with Camnet TV News, the entrepreneurs have lamented that small businesses are struggling to remain afloat because of high competition from foreign companies with high capital, making it difficult to compete with them. They are now calling on government to intervene in the matter and ensure that small businesses are protected from collapsing completely. And a senior economist, Amon Jere, says businesses such as block making should be left for the local people in order to empower local people and boost money supply in the country.
Zambia has in the last 3 years seen a spike in the number of block-making companies due to the fact that it is a developing country and that the block-making industry has been a flourishing sector. Constructions are happening in all sectors of the economy, from roads to healthy facilities, housing, infrastructure, just to mention a few. This, however, is supposed to be an opportunity for local block-making businesses to flourish as they tap into the resources being released for the construction sector. This has not been the case as more foreign companies have now taken over the block-making market and are crafting even what the local people are also crafting. This has worried small businesses who have been making ends meet through their businesses and now wants government to come up with a strategy that will allow small businesses supply their produce to government projects.
Government can come in and help us, to grow our business, because we are making these things also to earn something at the end of the day. Yes, but instead of the government buying from us, the government is busy giving business to Lebanese and so on, and other companies. And us, we are here stuck. We can't make business, we can't do what. Even those guys are even blocking our business. Our business is very slow. It's very slow. It's because of them. Even blocks, even all these things that we make, you find that they are also making. So at the end of the day, we lose out.
Upon the government to help us and protect us, because most of us who have been affected, we used to make blocks, now we have stopped because of the Lebanese. These are other guys who have come in. And now they have even started making the capstones and the other things which we are making. So we have even stopped making other things which we are making because of the competition is hard now. Yeah.
And the senior economist Amon Jere says businesses such as block making should be reserved for the local people, who should instead be empowered with equipment through the Citizen Empowerment Commission, then be given tenders by government for them to supply their products to the government.
What we can do is to allocate a quota for them. Maybe we start with 20-30%, they need to supply that. But at the same time, we start working on improving their capacity in terms of quality and the quantity, empower them with more machinery. That way, if we empower them and we create a market for them, they're able to sell more into the construction industry. They'll be able to make more money and expand their businesses and create more jobs for Zambians. And that's how the economy grows. When you go to other countries like South Africa and even Lebanon itself, all these businesses are owned and managed by the local citizens. I think we need to do that because we're not constrained by regional block treaties like the COMESA treaties, SADC trade treaties when it comes to such businesses. I think it's just important that government looks into it, we protect our brothers and we empower them. That's what is more important, that we give them more capacity to be able to meet the demand. We train them, give them machinery.
Money can only continue to circulate in an economy if it is being banked and invested in the same economy as opposed to it being invested in other countries. This is the more reason that local businesses need to be empowered and take part in the development of the country. Prudence Tota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
National Democratic Congress NDC leader KAMBWILI has been found with the case to answer in a matter in which he is accused of referring to President LUNGU as a dog. Lusaka Chief Resident Magistrate Lamek Mwale, in his ruling Tuesday morning, explained that the state had adduced sufficient evidence to put Mr. KAMBWILI on his defense. In this matter, KAMBWILI stands charged with one count of defamation of the president. The matter has since been adjourned to the 20th of April 2021 for commencement of trial.
For quite some time, he has been appearing before the courts of law to answer charges of different cases he has been accused of. Currently, Dr. KAMBWILI is appearing before 4 different magistrates where he is facing different offenses, among them contempt of court and defamation of the president. Getting back to what transpired Tuesday morning when his case, in which he is accused of uttering defamatory words against the head of state, was called before Lusaka Chief Resident Magistrate Lamek Mwale, the opposition leader was put on his defense after being found with a case to answer. In delivering a ruling on case or no case to answer this morning, Magistrate Mwale states that he had established sufficient evidence which has left the court to put the accused on his defense. The embattled National Democratic Congress leader, however, could not proceed in giving his defense this morning and requested the court for more time as he needed to seek guidance from his lawyers. He also informed the court that he was going to call a witness to testify in his defense. In this matter, the NDC leader stands charged with one count of defamation of the president contrary to the laws of Zambia. It is alleged that on dates unknown but between 26 and 27 August 2019, with intent to bring the name of the president into hatred, ridicule or contempt, he did publish an insulting matter by word of mouth. Meanwhile, while leaving the court premise, the NDC leader was noticed with tight security. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
In other news, The Lusaka High Court has sentenced a Zambia Air Force civilian and a traditional doctor and 2 others to life in prison for the murder of 7 Zambians in 2016. The ritual killings took place in George and Zingalume Township, with all victims having been found with missing private parts. Judge Florence Lengalenga, in her 3-hour judgment, says all the murder suspects deserve a stiffer punishment for their actions.
They now have to spend their entire life in prison after the High Court found them guilty of murder charges. These are the 4 men who were the mastermind behind the ritual killings of 7 Lusaka residents in 2016. This case has taken 5 years of trial proceedings, with different witnesses testifying before court. After the state closing their case, the court had found these men with a case to answer and placed them on their defense. And during their defense, the 4 had denied ever committing the offense. But delivering judgment Tuesday afternoon, which was reserved to April, in January this year, High Court judge found all the 4 men guilty of the offense and sent them to prison. March 2016 is the month and year that these gruesome killings happened. Zingalume and George compound are the areas that were targeted. The 4 men involved are Lewis Walia, a witch doctor, Christopher Kasapo, a Zambia Air Force office assistant, Elvis Nyanga, a soldier, and Lucky Siame, a warrant officer. The victims killed are Elias Piri, Clever Chagwa, Alex Zulu, Amon Sichamba, William Chela, Anton Mwamba, and Boris Muzamara between March 5th and April 17, 2016. Details of the case is that the victims were murdered in similar manner by crushing their left side of the head, removing body parts, among them ears, hearts, and genitals, raising suspicion of ritual killings. Other evidence on record before court is that after killing their victims, they would sell the body parts to Chinese, Indians, and white in exchange for dollars. For the families that their relatives were victims in this case, justice has been served. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
Opposition United Party for National Development UPND National Development Mambala constituency member of parliament Ephraim Bailemu has accused his former party of sidelining lawyer-serving party members for newcomers. Speaking during his defection from the UPND to the PF Tuesday morning, Mr. Bailemu explains that there is a notion in the UPND that the party is forming government this year, hence embracing new members while sidelining those who have suffered for the party. According to Mr. Bailemu, the UPND has embraced more crooked people, a move he says he will not withstand. Mr. Bailemu becomes the second high-ranked UPND official to leave the party after former UPND spokesperson Charles Kakoma took a similar stance last week, citing frustration after being dropped from his position on account of non-performance. Mr. Bailemu further accuses his party of stabbing him in the back despite his dedication to the party. And PF National Chairperson Samuel Mukupa has received Mr. Bailemu, with the party says his defection to the party demonstrates that the PF is loved by Zambians. Others on hand to receive Mr. Bailemu were Stephen Kampyongo, Joseph Malanji, Brian Munduwile, and immediate past UPND spokesperson Charles Kakoma.
Today are standing to a monster that thrives and eats its own babies, especially the royal babies. At times they are accused of smelling like a goat as an excuse for the mother and father hyena to eat them. Have been true to the UPND, true. And when I say true, I mean true. These are colleagues that I'm seated with here that he fought all these years, both in Parliament and outside Parliament. And I had one goal, to make the UPND form a government. But as it turned out today, and they are free to challenge me. And to be fair, if we removed the party presidents and their running mates or potential running mates, we pick the first 200 members in their order of seniority of all political parties. I'm afraid to say today the UPND has amassed more dishonest people than any other political party. And because of that, they think that the solution is to cannibalize those of us that have been loyal and committed to the cause. For me, politics is about a cause. And if you go simple probability, therefore, it tells you that at any given time, the UPND has a higher chance, assuming that's where you're going to get the senior officials that will serve government, has a higher chance of picking a crook than any other political party.
That news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, the headlines once again. Local block manufacturers complain of unfair competition from foreigners. KAMBWILI beefed up security as court finds him with a case to answer for insulting President Lungu. I am Precious Mzeya Sakaleji. Thank you for joining me. Good afternoon.